Winter brings the feeling of nesting or hunkering down. It also means the picking up of a piece or two of handicrafts. The oven works overtime for those holiday family favorites, and knitters dash to their local yarn stores to squeeze in one more scarf or a pair of socks for that last-minute gift. As you are crafting away, Barmaids continues to handcraft yummy goodness for your skin. Barmaids handcrafts their products with natural skin-loving oils and butters, everything your skin needs to keep it soft and moisturized, and nothing it doesn't. Since you are likely to use your hands more during the holiday season, let Lolo keep them moisturized. It's simple. Get your hands wet, shake the water off, and get your Lolo on before you pick up the needles, cookie cutter, or drop spindle.
Hi, and welcome to Knitting Blooms. Today is Saturday, January... I just wrote it down and then I forgot. January 19th. And this is episode number 90. My name is Tina, also known as Bloomingknitter, and welcome to the show this morning. I hope everybody's having a great day, and I am hoping to have a great day. I don't have much planned for today, but to record and maybe do a little bit around the house. I really need to do some stuff around the house, only because we have so many projects that are not completed that when you only work on them for 2 hours a week, it takes forever to get them completed. So maybe today I will be doing some projects, but more than likely it's going to wait till tomorrow because Steve has a union meeting this morning that he has to go to. And so he's going to be gone most of the morning. And when he's gone, I just like to sit and knit and relax. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I have not recorded the tutorial yet for this episode, but that will be done also today so I can get it attached with this episode. The tutorial is going to be on reading charts and, being able to read your knitting and see, why the chart works so well. And let's see, it's going to be all about spinning other than that. Because although I did work on my even star, and I didn't get as far along as I would have liked, I spent most of my week spinning. And I'll get into what I spun and how much I did and all that when I get to spinning. But so I didn't really get that many rows done on the even star. I did completely transition into the 5th colorway, and I think I only had like one more row last week to do, but I haven't really been working on that project all that much this week, only because I only have been working on it at work when I have been working on it, because it just seems like every time I pull it out at home, Sammy decides that she wants to come and sit on my lap. I don't know if it's the yarn or what exactly, but it's just like every time I pull it out, I get like 5 stitches in and she's like wanting to get on my lap. And lace knitting and cats with claws don't mix well. So I typically just put it away because she's pretty persistent about wanting to be on my lap when she wants to be on my lap. And so I've just put my knitting away or pulled out a different project and worked on that. I think... don't quote me on this, but I think I worked on my knit swirl maybe a few rows, not very many, if at all. I can't even remember if I pulled it out this week, because most of my time has been spent on spinning. And I have worked on my basic socks this week. They are almost done. I will have them for you next week to show you the finished basic stripy socks that were supposed to be done for the Knittables self-striping sock knit along back in, I think, October. Anyway, that's been coming along. We do have lots of prizes today, so we can get to that. And I'm also going to give you a brief tutorial on the new Lucy Knit-topia app for the iPad and the iPhone for that matter. I don't know if it's on Android devices or not, but it is on the iPad. Kagi TM mentioned it on her show earlier this week, and when she was talking about it, it sounded kind of interesting. It's like a $20 app, and I was like, do I really want to buy it? Yeah, I love Lucy Knit-topia, so I went out that same day and downloaded it. I downloaded it onto my phone, and then I downloaded it onto my iPad as well. So I'll be showing you that today as well. So before we get to the winners for the mitten knit along, which I'm happy to say that we ended up, I think, with 20 entries, which beat our goal of 18, which was fabulous. I was thinking that we were going to have to extend for another couple of days to get those extra ones in, but we did get 18 in a couple days ago, and then 2 more got posted within the last 24 hours. So I will get to those in just a minute, but first I want to talk about the other knit-alongs that are currently going on. We are currently doing the Spinuary, which is spinning in January, and you just have to spin 4 ounces and get it plied and off the bobbins. Now, you could have started this 4 ounces prior to January, but it must be finished in January, and I'm loving seeing all of the finished yarns that are in that thread so far. And it's made me want to go out and buy more fiber, and I really don't need more fiber. But I've been making lists of what I would like to buy when I do get back to buying stuff. And speaking of buying things, it's not really going to be a yarn diet or a spending freeze or anything like that for me this year. I do need to limit my spending only because I don't have any more room in my cabinets. Nope, don't have any more room in my cabinet. So I need to start, using up some of the stuff from stash. But if I see something that I really love that I just can't live without, I'm going to buy it. And if there is some kind of a charity drive or what have you for a specific yarn or whatever, I might buy that as well. I just ordered the Knit Pearl Girl yarn from, I'm pretty sure it was Hiawassee Creek. That was a whole week ago. I think, was it a whole week ago? Yeah, I think it was on Sunday that she had the update. Anyway, I ordered that yarn. And the other thing is, if I really need a fix for yarn or a new purchase, then I'm going to go to D-Stash. Amy from Knitting in Circles mentioned this on her podcast this week. And I really do like to go through D-Stash every once in a while just to see if there's anything that interests me. And so that's where I'm going to be focusing my purchases for this year, or at least until I work down my stash. Now, I did calculate my stash as of January, and it's still under 100 miles, and I don't recall how much it was, but it hasn't gone up any, in the last couple months, because I really haven't bought anything. So I'm still happy that it's under 100 miles. Maybe I'd like to get it under 90 miles in 2013. That would probably be a good idea. But we'll see. I like having my stash. I love to look at it. When the girls come over for Knit Club, they're like, oh, your yarn is so pretty, and they just like to look at it. Well, I like to look at it. It's mine. I see it all the time, but it's just nice just to stand in front of the cabinets and look at it. And even if I stopped knitting, I'd probably still keep my yarn because I like to look at it. So that is our January knit along, is the Spinuary, now that I'm off topic onto yarn buying. So Spinuary, January, you have till the 31st, or yeah, about the 31st, because I think the 2nd is a Saturday. The 2nd of February is a Saturday, and that's when I will record the show and do the drawing. And we do have the one prize from Spin Monkeys that she donated a few months ago that I'm using for the prize for January, as well as another prize that I'm hoping will be ready by then. So, and if for some reason that other prize is not ready by then I will see what I can do about finding another prize. I think I have another bump of fiber in my prize bin, but I'll have to look. And if not, I'm probably sure I can find something in my stash that somebody would love. And then there is the Finish and a Frog It that's coming up for February. So get prepared for that. Pull out those old projects that have been languishing and that you haven't finished up, and you can set them aside and be ready for February 1st to decide if you're going to finish them up or go ahead and frog them and re-clean that yarn. And also the Yarnivora podcast, Sadie, who did the snuggles last year, is doing the snuggles again this year. And I think she did, when she did her drive last year, everybody had made like over 500, I want to say. Can't recall the exact number, but I think it was over 500. And she's doing the drive again this year, and there are several podcasters that are participating in the podcaster challenge, where you can support a podcaster and say, I'm knitting this for this podcast, and then they get the points, and the podcaster with the most snuggles wins a prize. I'm not participating in that, but I am going to try and knit a couple snuggles during this month. January is already half over, and then we've got February, so if I'm going to do it, I better hurry up and start it. So that's going on as well. And then I want to do a knit along for my new pattern, Trials with Lace, which I have, excuse me, I have a few additional things to add that some of my testers had given me. And I have to tell you, my testers were fabulous. I got some really good advice on things to add, things to change. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for doing that for me. You guys did a really great job and gave me so much feedback, much more than I expected, because I didn't know what to expect. I really never had testers before on projects, and you guys are amazing. That's all I can say. So I want to do a knit along for my new lace pattern, Trials with Lace, for the shawl, and we're going to do it in April. So you have time to, the pattern will probably come out sometime next week or the following week at the latest, before February 1st. And so you'll have time to get your yarn prepared and get ready for that. So in April, we're going to do the knit along. And as soon as the pattern comes out, I'm going to have a coupon code for all the people who watch the podcast to get $1 off. So get ready to use that coupon code, and then we'll do the knit along in April. So that'll be so much fun. I'm excited to knit another one and see what everybody else is doing. So I obviously don't have any finished objects to show you this week. I did start another preemie hat, but didn't get very far on that. And no other finished objects. And I'm not showing you my whips this week because I didn't make much progress on those either. So I'm going to show you my spinning. And I've been working on the Alpaca. This is what it's looking like on the bobbin. And I think it was last week or the week before I told you that I wasn't really enjoying the process of spinning this. And I think I figured out why. I've been spinning this. This is the, excuse me. This is the, when I just dropped my bobbin and the bobbin just broke. I might have to get some glue for that. Crap. Oh well. And this is my woolly winder bobbin. I'll save that piece. I'll have to see if they can either replace that or if I can fix it. Anyway, this is the second bobbin of 3. And I've been spinning this, I don't know how long, a while now. This is the fiber that I purchased at the Alpaca farm when we were at Knit-topia. And I've been spinning it for a while, and like I said, I haven't been real excited about spinning it. But this week I realized why I was struggling with it so much. And that was because usually when I sat down to spin it, I would spin for 15 or 20 minutes and then stop. and then not work on it for 3 or 4 days, and then pick it up and spin for 15 or 20 minutes, and then stop. And I found this week that when I sat down to spin, I spun for at least an hour, and I was spinning every single day on it, and I got back into a rhythm. I think what was happening when I was only spinning for 15 or 20 minutes, I just wasn't getting into that rhythm, and I wasn't really enjoying it. So now that I'm spinning it more, I'm probably about halfway through the third bobbin. So I have been spinning a lot, and I'm hoping that I can have that completed by next week. It won't be plied by next week, but I'm hoping it will be completed. The third bobbin will be completed by next week, and I can start plying it, which will take some time because this is, fairly thin. This is a lace weight single, so yeah, it's going to take a while to ply. I have no idea how many yards I'm going to get. No clue at all. I'm not even worried about that at this point. But I have been enjoying spinning it more now that I am, spinning for longer periods of time and just getting it done. I wanted to get it done by the end of January, and I'm still hoping to get it done by the end of January. Mickey, what are you doing? You want to come over here? Come here. Come here. Come over here. Mick. Crazy, come here. He's just standing over there. Anyway, so I've been spinning this. This is what I've been working on in the evenings, which is, when Sammy wasn't trying to sit on my lap when I was working on the Even Star, I was spinning, and she still tried to sit on my lap with this, but it was a little easier to spin than it was to knit. And really, all the cats are attacking the alpaca. They must smell the scent of the animal, because even if I have little tufts of fiber that's left over that I don't spin, they're trying to get it. The second thing I've been spinning on is my Winding Wool Creek on my e-spinner. This is the e-spinner that Steve made me, and I'm still planning on getting a Hansen. I'm working on the financing on that, or the finances. So this is what I've got done so far. And I was hoping that this would be done for you this week, but I have this much left to go. I worked on it yesterday, and because I procrastinated all week, my boss was actually on vacation again this week, the whole week, and I procrastinated on doing some of my things at work most of the week, and then so yesterday I had to actually work. Not for very long, but I still had to get some stuff done, which meant that I couldn't sit and spin all day long. So what I did was, at the beginning of the week, I was close to being done with the fiber, and I just kind of said, you know what, I want to be done by the end of this week. So I took the fiber and I measured it out, so I had 4 equal portions. This was on Monday afternoon because I had already spun on Monday for a little bit, and at that point I realized how much I had left to go, and I'm like, I think I can get this done this week. So I broke it up into 4 equal portions, so I knew that if I spun one of those portions every single day, then I would have it done by Friday. And I would have had this done yesterday, but the guys ended up coming back to the office a little earlier than I expected, and this spinner is so loud that it's kind of annoys me, and I just put my earbuds in and watch a podcast or whatever. I still have to listen for the phone, but I don't like to keep it on when they're there. So I just shut it off. I figured I'll get this last little bit done today, and then I can let it rest and ply it tomorrow. I am not sure if I'm going to 2-ply or Navajo ply this yet. Haven't decided. I'll decide probably tomorrow when I go to ply it. But there it is. It's coming out fairly thin. I think that if I Navajo ply it and do a 3-ply, I will get a heavy fingering to sport weight. But if I 2-ply it, I will get a nice solid fingering weight. So we'll see. I don't know what I'll do at this point, and I think I'm going to try and ply it on the e-spinner. it'll be the first thing that I've plied on the e-spinner, because everything that I've spun on the e-spinner before, I have plied on another wheel. So that's the spinning. And then when I get those two things done, I'm going to pick something wonderful out of my stash to spin next. I'm not sure what. I've been wanting to spin some more Polworth silk. I really enjoyed spinning that when I did the Franklin fiber from Gnome Acres. And I've been wanting to spin some more Polworth silk, but I don't know what I'm going to spin yet. So if you have any suggestions, check out my stash, my fiber stash on Ravelry, and maybe make a suggestion for me. I can't promise that I will take your suggestion, but maybe it will start me thinking about, okay, that sounds good, or I don't know if I want to spin that right now, kind of thing. So that's spinning, and like I said, that will be the Winding Wool Creek will be completed and plied by next week. And hopefully the Alpaca will also be completed, probably not plied, but completed. And then hopefully plied by the end of the month, so I will have gotten two things completed in January for Spinuary that I didn't expect to get completed. Okay, before I get to the prizes for the Mitten Knit-along, I would like to take a moment and thank Kimberlolly for the pattern that she sent me this week on Wrap Tuesday. She sent me her newest pattern, which at the moment I can't recall the name of. It was a shawl, and it's kind of looks like a sectional shawl, with one section having some open areas and then the other two side sections being more solid. So I mentioned to Kimberlolly that I want to knit some of her patterns. She's sent me a few different of her patterns before, and I haven't knit any, but I want to try and make a point to knit one of her patterns in 2013, because I do have a couple of them now, and I really should get knitting on those. So let's go into the drawing for the Mitten Knit-along. I will start by saying that you could only win once. And at first, when I was doing the drawing, I drew all the numbers, and then I went to go look to see who won. And I did the first drawing, and the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and all of the numbers were unique. Everybody had there was all unique winners. Then I got to the last prize, and the first winner, who won the biggest prize, also had won that one. And I'm like, no, I'm going to pick another number. So I picked another number. It was her number again, because she did a few different ones. I picked another number. It was her number again. I did that 5 times, and it was her number. And I almost was like, okay, she's destined to win this prize. And then I'm like, no, I'm gonna draw again. And then I drew another number, and it was another one of the winners that had already won. And then I drew another number. I think I ended up drawing about 7 or 8 times before I finally got a unique winner. So like I said, because she kept winning, I was almost ready to just give it to her, because she was destined to win that prize. But I did end up getting a unique winner. So let me just, without further ado, tell you who won what. Okay, so the first prize was the big prize, which is this kit from Knit Picks. You get all 6 of these patterns in this booklet, plus all of the yarn to make them. All the patterns are in here, and they're all charted. They're beautiful patterns. I just don't think that I will knit them. I love Valerie's Colorwork mittens, and if I'm going to knit mittens, I might as well just do her mittens. So, so you're going to get these patterns with all of the yarn to do it. And the winner was number 13, lucky number 13, mom of 4, and that's Teresa from Mississippi. So congratulations, Teresa. You have won all of this yarn and the patterns for these projects. So get in contact with me with your shipping address, and I will get that in the mail to you. So congratulations. I don't have the yarn here to show you because it's too bulky, but all the colors are there. I think there are, let me see how many skeins there are. I think 15. I think. So, but you'll get all those. And as you know, from working on mittens, you don't use that much of any one color except for the black. I think there's 4 skeins of black that come with this, and then the rest are just single balls. And it all is all with the Knit Picks palette. So I think that you will really enjoy them, and hopefully you will knit them up. And because you knit so many this time, I'm sure that you will be happy to make some more. So congratulations, Teresa, on that. The second prize is for an Etsy gift card. And that goes to number 5, and I'm probably going to butcher the Ravelry name, and probably the regular name. Myrika, I think is how you pronounce her Ravelry name. And her name is Michela, or Michaela, I think. And she's from Germany. So get in contact with me with your Etsy account name, I guess, and I will send you a gift card for Etsy, and then you can use it at any shop of your choice. So congratulations on that. The third prize is for a project bag, and it's this lovely project bag from 2nd Avenue Swag. And it is like a triangle bag. It's not really a wedge bag, but it's like a triangle bag. And it is nice. I like this shape because it opens up, and it seems so much larger than it actually is. No, I'm sorry. It's larger than it seems is what I meant to say. So you could probably still fit 2 nice size balls for socks in this bag. It seems a lot smaller than it is. So, and the winner of this project bag is number 9, Ting Ting from Ann Arbor, Michigan. So, get in contact with me with your shipping address, and I will get this shipped out to you. And you're real close to me in Ann Arbor. So, again, congratulations, you have won this project bag. The next prize is for yarn of your choice. I think she had, Valerie had donated these prizes. Let me just go back and see, because I think she had mentioned a specific dollar amount. Yes, $25 gift certificate to the store of your choice, and she puts down cephalopod, Knit Picks, or webs. And the winner of that is number 21, Knit-Nut 67, and that is Angela. So Angela, congratulations. You have won the gift certificate from Valerie. So get in contact with me when you've seen this episode, and then I will I'll also get in contact with Valerie and let her know that you are the winner. And she will, I don't know how she's going to do that, if she's going to just do it like an e-gift card or what exactly, but you guys will work it out. So congratulations, you are the winner. You slipped right in there at that last minute because you were the last post. The next prize is for one of Valerie's patterns, another mitten pattern, and that goes to number 18, and that's Audrey Lee in Oregon. So Audrey, congratulations, you get to get another pattern from Valerie. So just get in contact with me with the pattern of your choice, and I will let Valerie know, and she will gift that pattern to you. So congratulations on that. And the last pattern from Valerie, and again, this is the one that kept going to previous people on the list, and that one goes to number 19, Purple Rockstar, who is Nicolette. So Nicolette, congratulations on winning that prize. And you also were one of those ones that slipped in within the last few days to get your mittens completed. So I am so happy that everybody got their mittens finished. I think there's still a few people that were working on them that run into little snags or family issues that they didn't have the time to finish them up. We will be doing mitten knit-alongs again, so never fear. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to have them in November, December again, because I don't know if that was hard because of Christmas and everybody doing Christmas knitting, or if you'd rather do them January, February. So if you have a preference on future mitten knit-alongs, let me know, and I'll keep that in mind for next time, because I'd like to do them. I like to do them in November, December, because then if they're Christmas gifts, you can give them as gifts, and plus they're ready for the cold weather. But if it's easier to do them in January, February, or maybe we could do November, December, January, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but if you have a preference, please let me know. So congratulations to all of the winners. Congratulations to everybody who finished their mittens. And for those of you that didn't finish your mittens, please finish them up and then post them in the mitten chatter thread, because I'd still love to see all the finished mittens. So get them finished up so you can wear them. I've been wearing mine this week. Actually, I was wearing my new autumn turning mitts for a few days, and it was so cold, and my fingers, because they're mitts and my fingers were not covered, my fingers were getting cold. So I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday that I switched over to my stinky pink mittens, and they were keeping my hands so much warmer. I do like the mitts a lot better because I feel like I got more control with my fingers, but the mittens, they do keep my fingers a lot warmer. I think what I might try is to modify one of Valerie's patterns to do one of those flip techniques where you flip it open and then you have a mitt inside, and then you could close it and button it down to, you know, have the full mitten. So I might try that. That seems pretty ambitious, but I think I can do it. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, congratulations on all the winners again. And I look forward to seeing everybody else's finished mittens when they get them completed. Okay, so let's talk about the Lucy Knit-topia app. And I'm gonna, oops, okay, good. So the app here for Lucy Knit-topia, it's called Lucy Knit-topia 1, and it's the first collection. And this app has not only patterns, but it also has videos and such. So I downloaded the app, and this is what comes up. And this is just the opening. Oops, sorry Siri, I don't want to talk to you. This is just the opening section, and she has just a little bit about Lucy here, and then some of the patterns. And I was looking at them, I'm like, okay, that's good. These are really nice patterns. I don't know that I would purchase this just for the patterns, because that's definitely not, the patterns are, I mean, I might knit them, but they're not something that I would immediately want to go to. So then I'm like, okay, well, where are the videos? Well, up here in the corner, right up here, there's a little, whoops, back. There's a little, like, a movie roll. And that's where you go to see all of the, whoops, sorry. Now what have I done? I'm in the middle, I pushed something with my finger. Okay. So now you have a list of all of the different videos that are on here. And what's nice is that it lists the video that these things came from. Now, I think I have almost on, let's see. I think I have almost all of these. I do not have Finesse Your Knitting 2 or Knitting Venus 2, but all the other videos that are listed here, and I don't believe that it includes all the videos from, I mean, I know for sure that it doesn't, but you've got some videos from Knitting Essentials 1, Knitting Essentials 2, Finesse Your Knitting 1, Finesse Your Knitting 2, Knitting Gems 2, Knitting Gems 3, Sock Techniques 1, Sock Techniques 2, Double Knitting Delights, and Knitting Venus 2. And like I said, you only have between 1 and 5 videos from each of those different videos. So I know that each of those videos is like 2 or 3 hours long. So there's no way that all the techniques are included in here. But the techniques that are included in here are directly related to the patterns that are included in here. So like I said, I think I have like 9 Lucy Neat Bee videos, but I really like her technique of teaching. So that's why I got this. So you have here all of the things. So let's just take a look at one. And so here you've got the video, and of course it's going to flip if you do it this way as well. But I really like her technique. So that's just with the videos, and I'm thinking, okay, did I really get this just for the videos? But what's the coolest thing about this is that, let me see what this is. I don't think I've pushed on that before. That's nothing. Okay, the coolest thing about this is that, so let's say you want to make these mittens right here. Oops. Click on there, and it gives you a brief description about it. You can watch a brief little video about the mittens, or no, I guess that, yeah. She's showing you a little bit about these particular mittens, but I think she just gives you like a brief overview of the mitten. This particular video was only 23 seconds. So you can get an idea what it is, and then you have the choice to look at the PDF. Oops. Look at the PDF here, or knit this pattern. It gives you the weight of the yarn and all that. So I'm going to click on knit this pattern, and I already did this once, but I'm going to do it again. And you put it in there. Now I'm going to go to external. No, I'm going to go to internal. I don't know what external is. I'm going to try external, because the first time I did internal, and I'm going to create. And it's creating my pattern. And what's nice about this is that it uses Knit Companion, which is my favorite. And it sets up all of the pieces, because that's the most time consuming for Knit Companion, is setting up all the pieces. So you have all the pieces up here to use, and all your information down here. But the coolest thing about this is that, okay, so let's go back to introduction. And this is the part that I love the most. So here's your first section, and this is just the basic information about the mitten. So here's the first section. But if you look closely, you'll see these little symbols again. So if you click on that, look what happens. A little video pops up, and she starts talking about something specific that relates directly to this pattern, which is so cool. I love that. And these are throughout the whole thing. So here's another one down here that relates to your gauge. If I go to a different, here's something about the mitten hand. So these little videos are throughout the entire project. And that is the coolest thing. And the other cool thing is that it's in Knit Companion. It's not actually in Knit Companion, because when I go to Knit Companion, my regular Knit Companion app, these projects are not there. But, let me see. they're like in a, I don't know, a special knit companion within the Lucy Knit-topia app. But I think that is so, so cool. And I think that's because of the videos and such. But she's got all the different things set up. She's even got a little pop-up right here that you can, there's a little something that you can play right there too. So it talks about what hand to use your to hold your yarn in. So that is so cool. And if nothing else, if you got this program for the videos, you could try out Knit Companion if you don't have that program already. Many of you have heard that Knit Companion is one of my most favorite apps to use with my knitting patterns and my iPad, and this just enhances it even more with the video tutorials right there within the pattern. So that is so awesome. I love it. I wish there were a way for me to set up my patterns in Knit Companion form and be able to somehow attach them or put them out there in like a public file where if you have a code you can get in and access it, and then you can pull it down, so then you don't have to set up your pattern in Knit Companion if you're going to use one of my patterns in it. So very, very, very cool. I really like this, and even though I have all of the videos for Lucy Knit-topia, I will probably continue to buy these apps because they're fun. And like I said, the patterns don't really excite me. They're nice patterns, but they're not something that I would be like, oh God, I gotta knit that tomorrow. But I love the fact that they have that set up for Knit Companion. And you'll see, I've got a new case. Dawn from Wolf Farms showed this on her podcast earlier this week, and I loved it. I've been looking for something different for my iPad, and it's got, you can rotate this around and stand it up like this, or rotate it this way and stand it up like this. I love it. I had to have it right away, and I ended up getting it shipped next day because I was in a hurry for it. It's very cool. It's by Case Crown, I think. So, love it. And they also had them for the iPad minis, too, if I ever should get an iPad mini. So, that's the Lucy Knit-topia app. And if you don't have it, or if you're thinking about getting it, it's $20, but it's well worth it. I mean, her videos are like $30 a piece to begin with. So, to get the videos and the patterns, definitely a good value. So okay, so once I record the tutorial for the reading charts, I will insert it here for you. I don't know how long it's going to be. Hopefully it won't be too long, but I will insert it here for you, and I hope you enjoy it. So here you go. You will notice that I have a chart here, and it might look like it is complete gibberish to you. If you have never knit from a chart before, this can be very confusing and intimidating. But I'm going to show you today how really it's not that difficult at all. You might see a chart like this and not know what all these symbols mean if it's the first time that you have knit from a chart. But most patterns will also come with the key as to what each character means. For instance, if we look at here on line number 11, you see a blank space right here. But if you look at the key, a blank space means that you're going to knit on the right side and purl on the wrong side. So you have to decipher each one of these different symbols and to determine how the chart is read. So, for instance, on line number 11 here, we have a knit 1, 2, 3, and then we have a new symbol here, which if we come down here, it's a knit 2 stitches together. followed by a yarn over, and then knit 3 stitches, another yarn over, and then here's another new symbol, which is a slip slip knit, and then 3 knit stitches, a knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3 stitches, yarn over, slip slip knit, and then knit 3 stitches. Now, some designers will also write out all of that information, but to look at a written out instructions, you can't see where these stitches are going to line up with one another. That's why charts are so much easier to look at, because you can look at a chart and see if what you're looking at is how your knitting is showing up. So let me just show you, this chart here shows you 2 repeats up. So let me show you what you probably will see in a written pattern. So here is just 1 repeat. So I'm going to show you this repeat plus the knitting that I have here. And you can see how everything is coming together. You see some yarn overs that come down like this, and that looks like a V. And look, you have yarn overs in a V here. So you can look at visualize what you're looking at. If you just saw, knit 5 stitches, yarn over, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass the slip stitch over, you wouldn't know where those stitches are lining up. And again, if we look back at this chart, you'll see that if you follow this symbol up, they stack on top of one another each time. And if we look at the knitting, you will see that that stitch is directly above the other stitch. So it's very easy once you learn how to look at the symbols on the chart and then on the knitting as well, to be able to read your knitting and the chart and know if your lace is getting off key. I'm going to show you a couple other charts as well. This, like I said, this is the same repeat stacked on top of one another. But you might also see something that looks like this. This is the same repeat again, but there's this yellow area. And what this yellow area is, or it might be gray shaded or what have you, this is a repeat section. So for instance, this knitting that I have here, I cast on 23 stitches, which is how many stitches are in this piece. But if I wanted to increase this piece, instead of having 23 stitches across, I could add 10 stitches, because that's how many stitches are in this shaded area, which would be the repeat section. So for instance, if I'm looking at this and I'm going to cast on 33 stitches instead of 23 stitches, my row would be knit 5, yarn over, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass a slip stitch over, yarn over, then knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then instead of moving on to this section, I would go back and knit this again for those extra 10 stitches. And then once those extra 10 stitches are knit, then I would move on and knit the last few stitches here. And that would be the same for both rows. I have also shown on this chart that I have both odd and even rows. And on the even rows, you'll notice that there's no symbols. There's no symbols on those even rows. So those are usually going to be purl back when they're shown like this. But you might also see a chart that looks like this, where you only have odd rows, which means that you're still working the odd rows on the right side, but you still have to do a purl back row on the wrong side. And usually most patterns will designate that, but if you see a pattern that only has even rows, then you know that there's a different row that's on the back side that's usually either all knits or all purls or what have you. So let's go back to this chart again. So we have our even rows. Now let's say, for instance, there were symbols on these even rows. Okay? In this particular case, there's not, but let's pretend that there are. On an odd row, you work from right to left. On an even row, you're going to work from left to right. Because when the work is facing you, this is the right side, and you work your stitches from right to left on the right side rows. And on the wrong side rows, your work is facing away from you, so you're going to be working backwards. In this case, it's all purls, so you don't have to pay too much of attention. But if, for instance, there was some extra symbols on that row, you'd have to work from the left to the right instead of the right to the left in that particular instance. And here is another chart that I just want to show you. Again, this is the shaded area. Here is just designating that if we were to add that other section. So for instance, here is our 10 stitch section that we've duplicated. We have it here, and then we have it here. So here's the first few stitches, and here the first 10, and then the second 10. And if you added another 10 and you wanted to cast on 43 stitches, then you would have yet another repeat here. Again, when designers write patterns, they don't put all the different repeats in there. They usually will show it like this, and then if you cast it on 33, then you would do this twice. If you cast it on 43, you would do this 3 times, and so forth. So, and I want to show you again the charts with the knitting. Let me take these out of the way. And how you can tell where you are based on the chart. So we have our chart here. And here is, again, the knitted section. And it just so happens that I ended on row 8 of this section. So I can go ahead and start again on row 1. Because what a designer will also do is they won't stack the charts if they're just stacked on top of one another. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what we're looking at here. So we're going to knit 5. Okay, and then we have the yarn over, and then the slip 1, knit 2 together, pass the slip stitch over. And again, you can see that that stitch is going to line up right over top of the previous stitch like that. So we have slip 1, knit 2 together. I'm sorry, forgot to do my yarn over. So we'll do a yarn over first. Then we have slip 1, knit 2 together, and then we're going to pass that slip stitch over. And again, if we look at this, that stitch lines up directly over top of the previous one from below. Then we have a yarn over, and we're going to knit 7. And again, we're going to do that stitch again. Here we have our previous double decrease. And if we follow that right up this row of stitches, that's going to be the center of the double decrease, that middle stitch. So we'll do a yarn over, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass the slip stitch over, yarn over, and then knit 5. And then you would purl back on the next row. Okay, so I went ahead and I purled back, and then I knit the next 2 rows so that I could show you how to visualize where you might make a mistake. And I did make a couple of mistakes in the next row on purpose so that we can look at our knitting and then look at the chart and see where our problem lies. So, here we are now on row 5. So we have a knit 2, followed by a knit 2 together. And when we get to the knit 2 together, you'll see we've missed a yarn over from the previous row. You can see here, the yarn over is supposed to be right here. If you look on this side, there's the yarn over, but on this side there's no yarn over. A yarn over is very easy to fix. The yarn over should be right here in this spot right here, because this is our purl back row, this bar here. So in order to pick up that yarn over, all you're going to do is slip your needle right underneath that stitch and then pull it through another stitch from that purl row back. So then we've created that yarn over there, and then we can keep working. Now, that stitch will be a little bit tight, but once you soak and block out your knitting, it should straighten things out a bit. So we're going to continue over, and here's our yarn over, and this is from the previous row, so the stitch right above, and then we're going to have another yarn over directly next to that, and then we're going to have a slip slip knit. We will knit 1, and then we have a knit 2 together, and there's that yarn over, so the yarn over goes, there's the yarn over here, and the yarn over is from down here, so the yarn over is going to go right there. Then we're going to knit 5, and we've missed another yarn over, so we can't even knit 5 because we've lost a yarn over here. We need to pull that yarn over up, same thing as before. So here's, if I lay this flat for you, here's your yarn over. So the next yarn over needs to be directly next to it here. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull that stitch up, and then we'll knit it. That will be number 5. But then we have too many stitches here at the end, because the previous row we were supposed to do a slip slip knit, and we didn't. We were supposed to do a slip slip knit and then knit 3, but we have 5 stitches left over. So in order to fix that, we need to drop these 2 stitches off of the needle, drop that down, take out that purl row, and pick those stitches back up onto the needle. We actually dropped down 2 rows. You'll see there's 2 bars here behind, and we'll do a slip slip knit just like we're going to do it, and we'll pick up the first bar. It's kind of hard for me to show you, but it's this bar right here that we're trying to pick up. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to pick that up and knit that through. Okay, so then we have the slip slip knit, but then we have to knit the purl part too, so we have to pick that up also, and then pass that over as well. So there you go. And that, when you have to combine stitches like that, it'll feel a little bit loose, but again, once you block it out, you should be fine. And then we can go ahead and do our yarn over, and then yarn over, and then slip slip knit again, because we're still decreasing again here, and then knit 2, which is how the chart is written. So now if we look at this on our cable, oops, and I forgot my yarn over again over here. If I look at this now, I see my 1, 2, 3 yarn overs on this side, and 1, 2, and again I missed the yarn over there. Now sometimes what I'll do is, if I notice it before I go to do my purl, I will put a stitch marker here, just one of those locking stitch markers, and then I can just go ahead and pull that bar up when I'm doing my purl row, instead of waiting until I get to the next knit row. But I can actually visualize the knitting and the chart and see that everything is lining up or not lining up, and if I've missed a yarn over or what have you. Also, if you're doing a chart with multiple repeats, for instance, let's go back to this chart here. If you're doing a chart with multiple repeats and you have 10 stitches, you can put your stitch markers at those 10 for that repeat. So then you know, do a repeat and then you have a stitch marker, and then a repeat and a stitch marker, and a repeat and a stitch marker. And then when you get to your last stitch marker, then you know that you need to do the rest of that chart. So that is the information that I have for you on chart reading. I hope you found this informational, and if you have any questions or didn't quite understand something that I presented here today, please feel free to get in contact with me at bloomingknitter@gmail.com, and I will be happy to answer your questions. So thanks so much for watching. Bye. One last thing before I let you go for today. I do have some new donations for Knit-topia 2013. However, I still have not opened the boxes because we are still without power on that side of the house. The first few days, it was no big deal. It was actually kind of a little bit of an adventure. After about 4 days, I was frustrated, and as of yesterday, I was done. We still don't know what the problem is. We're going to end up having our electrical box upgraded anyway, so we're just going to have to do that a little sooner than we expected, and hopefully the electrician will troubleshoot that problem at the same time. Steve has changed every outlet on that breaker and looked at every ceiling fixture except for the ceiling fans on that fixture, on that breaker. He can't find it. So we have now resorted to extension cords from room to room and lights that we have to move from room to room. It's a pain in the butt. Hopefully by next week it'll be taken care of, but probably not, because I seriously doubt I'm going to be able to call the electrician on Monday and say, can you come out on Tuesday and fix this? So hopefully it'll be done soon, but I don't know when. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, Knit-topia. So all the boxes are piling up in the computer room, and I can't get in there to open them because I have no electricity. And I really don't want to pull them all out only to have to move them back. So I'm waiting until the electricity comes. We get the electricity back in that room. And plus, Steve's been moving things out and around to get to the outlets. So right now you can barely even get into the computer room. So next week I will list all the new vendors that have sent donations. Hopefully I will get to it by then. We'll see. I probably, if we still don't have power in that room, I might have to pull everything out so I can open it up and log it in and everything. But we'll see how it goes. I'm just frustrated with that. But anyway, so I do have donations for Knit-topia 2013, and Knit-topia 2014 will be in March. And I think, let me just take a quick look. I think it's going to be the second week, the second and the third week, because Steve's birthday is in on March 30th, and I don't want to be gone for his birthday. So let me just fast forward a year and a few months. And the reason I'm putting this out there now is because probably starting next month I'm going to start taking registrations for Knit-topia 2014, because we fill up quickly and I want people to have the opportunity to sign up. Okay, so Knit-topia 2014 will be from March 13th, March 13th, which is Thursday, to March 23rd, which is a Sunday. So it'll be the weekends will be the 13th through the 16th and the 20th to the 23rd, and then midweek also. So keep that in mind. I have to finalize the pricing, but it will probably be very similar, maybe just slightly higher than this year. I just have to verify pricing, and hopefully by next month I will be able to start taking registrations. It'll probably be close to the end of February when I do that, but I do like to start it before the year, a year before the actual event, because we do fill up quickly. I am going to hold back some spots like I did last year for a lottery drawing, but if you want to come, sign up early and get your deposit in, because we're going to fill up, and there's still a chance that people will be able to slide in at the last minute, but you just never know, because everybody that comes enjoys themselves and wants to come back. So there was even people from last year that wanted to come back this year that weren't able to because they missed out, and then their name wasn't drawn for the lottery. So please get your payments in early if you want to. Like I said, I'll have all that information later in February, but I just want to get it out there so that if you are thinking about it, you can put it on your calendar and anticipate it. So, and that's all I have for you this week. Cody, what are you doing? Now I'm going to go corral the cats. So anyway, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoy your week. I hope you enjoyed this week's tutorial. I do need to still post the yarn dyeing tutorial as a separate entry. So if you decide you want to save that for some reason, you can save that and not the full episode. So I meant to do that earlier this week and then just totally forgot. I've been coming home from work and then spinning, and I haven't even been turning on my computer in the evening. And I've had the opportunity to upload it from work, but with DSL, it's amazing the difference in speed from DSL to cable internet, because the speed is just so slow at work. So that's why I didn't do it at work. Anyway, so I am off to do some spinning. I'm going to record the tutorial later today, so you'll have seen that already. And I hope you have a great week. So bye for now. I hope your knitting blooms.